This video is going to show you how to factor the sum and difference of perfect cubes. So just like factoring the difference of perfect squares, there's essentially a formula that you need to know. So if I have a cubed plus b cubed, and I'm asked to factor this, this is considered the sum of perfect cubes. This factors to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. And if I had a cubed minus b cubed, this factors to be a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So I'm going to give you a few tricks to help you remember these formulas. In terms of our signs, the positives and the negatives, it will always be using SOAP. It'll be the same sign, then it'll be the opposite sign, and then it'll always be positive. So, same sign, opposite sign, always positive. Same sign, opposite sign, always positive. The other thing you might notice is that in the first parentheses, the binomial, that a plus b or that a minus b, that's the cube root. And then to get the trinomial, we're going to square the first cube root. We're going to multiply them together, and then we're going to square the last cube root. So we're going to always use SOAP, and we're going to use square, multiply, square. So let's take a look at two basic examples. The first thing I like to do is rewrite it as cube roots. So this is a to the third power plus 3 to the third power. So that is helpful so you know what your cube roots are. So I'm going to set it up. I have a binomial times a trinomial. And using SOAP, I'm going to put in my signs. Same sign, so I have a positive. Opposite sign, I have a negative, and then it's always positive. Your cube roots, those numbers or variables inside the parentheses, are going to go right as your first binomial factor. So a plus 3. Now I'm going to square that a. A squared gives me a squared. Next I multiply them. A times 3 gives me 3a. And then I square that last cube root, so 3 squared is 9. And that's your answer. So our next example is x cubed minus 64. So I'm going to write this as x to the third minus 4 to the third. And just like before, I'm going to set it up with my signs. Same sign gets a negative, opposite sign is a positive, and the last sign is always positive. My cube root, x and 4, come right down into the binomial. X squared is my first piece. X times 4 gives me 4x for my second piece. And 4 squared gives me 16 for my last piece. And that's how we factor perfect cubes. We're going to take a look at two more examples that are a little bit more involved because they have some different pieces happening. So my first one, once again, I always start by writing it as the difference of the cubes. So the cube root of 1 is 1. The cubed root of 27x to the 9th is going to be 3x to the third. Remember, when you're cube rooting a variable, you're dividing it by 3. So once again, I'm going to set up my binomial and my trinomial. Using SOAP, I'm going to input my signs. Same sign, opposite sign, always positive. So the first parenthesis, that binomial factor, is nice and easy. 1 and 3x cubed go right down. Now I need to use square, multiply, square. So 1 squared is 1. 1 times 3x cubed is 3x cubed. And now I need to do 3x squared. So if you need to, you can write this out. 3x cubed to the second power is really 3x cubed times 3x cubed, which will give us 9x to the 6th. So that's my last piece in here. You have to square both the number and the variable. So my last one, a cubed minus 8b cubed. So this is a to the third minus 2b to the third. So same thing. I'm going to set up my parentheses. Same sign, opposite sign, always positive. My cube roots come right down to form my binomial, a minus 2b. Now I'm going to use square, multiply, square. So a squared is my first term. A times 2b gives me 2ab as my second term. And now I need to do 2b squared, which remember, if you have to do it on the side, that's fine. This will give you 4b squared as the last piece of your trinomial. So that's how you factor the sum and difference of perfect cubes.